My name is Nofara Shakira, and now I'll be presenting the case of Toyota major crisis, which involve both visible external damage and deeper internal HR failures. Let's start with the external impact. In the early 2010, Toyota was forced to recall over 9 million vehicles globally due to serious mechanical problems, including faulty accelerator pedals and onboard computers. This led to massive financial losses, about $155 million per week, and $30 billion in stock value was wiped out. As expected, this issue caused a major decline in sales, the worst Toyota had seen in over a decade. On top of that, Toyota faced a public relations crisis. The company was accused of delaying their response, hiding information, and failing to be transparent with customers. This significant damage their brand reputation, which had previously been known for high quality and safety. Next, behind these technical failures were much deeper human resource problems that made the situation worse. First, the reward system was flawed. Employees were praised for cutting costs and expanding, but not for maintaining safety and quality. Second, training was poor. Staff didn't know how to properly detect or report safety issues, and there was no training to avoid groupthink. Third, Toyota company culture discouraged speaking up. This traditional safe face attitude led to silence and delays in reporting problems. Also, leadership was weak, and the hiring process failed to bring in people who were willing to challenge decision or raise concern. Finally, HR did not assess risk well. They failed to understand how hiring, training, and culture could directly affect long-term product safety. In conclusion, Toyota crisis wasn't just about faulty cars, it was a systematic organizational failures caused by deep weaknesses in HR, including reward system, culture leadership, and risk management. The damage was measured not just in billions of dollars, but also in lost trust and brand value worldwide. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Michelle Pungandiri. So I will presenting about 4 over 8 HR process that contribute to Toyota downfall and how they can be improved to prevent similar issue in the future. So the first one is reward and recognition. Toyota reward system strongly emphasize meeting production target. While this drove result, it also made safety and quality less of a priority. Employees feel discouraged from reporting issue that might slow down the output. So for the recommendation is redesign the system to reward not only performance but also transparency, especially when employees speak up about the problem. This encourage a culture of honesty and accountability. So the number 2 is training. Training at Toyota focus heavily on standardized procedure and rule. However, it lacks emphasis on real-world risk and critical thinking. As a result, employees were well trained to follow instruction, but not to question or challenge potential safety concern. So for the recommendation is incorporate real scenarios and simulation into training. This help employees build confidence in decision making and prepare them to respond to unexpected situation. So number 3 is hiring. The hiring process favor candidates who will complain and rule oriented. While this supported efficiency, this also means the company lack people who could think independently or challenge the status quo. Recommendation is include ethical judgment and critical thinking assessment during the interview. This ensures new hires are capable of both following procedure and speaking up when something is not right. So number 4 is performance management. Toyota performance review focused largely on speed and efficiency. As a result, employees were rewarded for quick output rather than for raising or resolving issue. This discouraged proactive problem solving. So for the recommendation is broaden performance metrics to include how employees identify and handle issue. This helps create a workplace where quality and safety are valued alongside productivity. So that's all for me. Thank you. I will pass to the next presenter.
My name is Muhammad Osani, and we move on to the next part, which is point number 5, communication and the voice of employee. So Toyota faced a major issue with internal communication. The employees were afraid to speak up about the problems, especially the safety and the quality concerns. This was due to a culture that discouraged open feedback and criticism. So, the recommendation for Toyota is to create a safe place where everyone can speak up, no matter their position. They need to prepare tools like anonymous feedback, open meetings, and involving employee in every decision making, and that can help build trust and openness. So, the next point is leadership and key talent development planning. So as Toyota grew overseas, leadership development didn't keep up. Some managers ignored the core of values and made decisions that hurt the product quality and the company's image. So the recommendation is for Toyota to invest training leaders who reflect the company's value. Succession planning should focus not only on performance but also on ethics, quality, and continuous improvement. So we move on to the next point, which is point number 7, workforce planning. So during the fast growth, Toyota didn't plan their workforce properly, which is the many employees, especially in quality controls, were overworked. This led to mistake and affect the safety and reliability of the cars. So the recommendation is to use data and planning tools to forecast staffing needs, review overworks often, and apply a flexible staffing to avoid burnout and maintain the quality. So we move on to the next point, which is management of the organizational culture, which is the Toyota strong culture of Kaizen, teamwork, and respect was the foundation is in yearly success. But as the company chased growth and profits, it moved away from this value, which hurts its reputation and customer trust. So the recommendation is to treat company culture as key asset, and the HR should lead initiative like cultural training, storytelling about past success, and employee recognitions to keep the core values alive, especially in global locations. So I think that's all from me.
Today, we reflect on key lessons from Toyota organizational failure, particularly in balancing innovation with human responsibility. First, innovation must be balanced with ethical oversight. Toyota rapid expansion prioritized speed and cost efficiency over safety and transparency. The lack of accountability led to major recalls and published blacklists. This shows us that engineering innovation must always be guided by ethical decision making and a long-term responsibility to consumer and society. Second, a company culture shape is a quality outcome beyond engineering standard. Toyota original culture emphasized Kaizen or continuous improvement, but during its global expansion, this value eroded. Pressure to meet sales target overtook the culture of craftsmanship. This reminds us that sustaining a culture of quality requires more than technical controls. It needs consistent reinforcement of core values at all levels of the organization. And last one is the employee voice is essentially for product and process innovation. At Toyota, hierarchical communication silence those who notice early warning signs. Employees were not empowered to challenge decision or report risk. Company must create open environments where all employees feel safe to speak up. Listening to frontline workers can prevent crises and spark meaningful innovation.
Thank you. I'm Nurul Husna. For my part, as an HR practitioner in Proton, we can learn a lot from the mistakes Toyota made, especially regarding organizational culture. One of their biggest issues was that employees felt discouraged from raising concerns. For Proton, this means we need to foster a culture of openness where workers feel safe to speak up, maybe through anonymous reporting channels or open forum discussion. Another area Toyota struggled with was their reward system. They focused too much on cost and speed, ignoring safety and quality. So Proton must avoid this by creating a more balanced system, one that also rewards ethical behavior, innovation, and safety compliance. Training is also key. At Toyota, employees lack the skill to recognize and escalate problems. So Proton should expand its training programs beyond technical issues to include things like critical thinking and ethical decision making. Leadership development should also focus on avoiding groupthink and encouraging independent judgment. So lastly, Proton should develop an HR risk assessment function that works closely with strategy and compliance. This will help detect issues early in recruitment, training or retention, and ensure we stay aligned with long-term goals. In short, Toyota errors are a powerful reminder that human resource practice must be proactive, ethical, and deeply integrated into the company's culture.